Welcome to another episode of the Moontalk Streamcast. What's going on, Matt?
Oh, we're back. What's going on, AG?
Yeah, man, it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
You too. You've had yourself a busy weekend.
Yeah, long weekend.
Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide.
Tell me about it. You were down in Miami?
Down in Miami for last Thursday to Sunday. I don't even know I'm here right now.
Dangerous.
So my brother, he actually accepted a new gig. And it's based in Miami. It's technically fully remote, but obviously
let's go
down there.
But the company's in Miami?
Yeah, the company's in Miami. I can't remember the name of it right now. It starts with an A, but it's like a pet supplies company.
Cool.
And so he's a financial analyst. So it kind of translates. I was telling him, like, it doesn't really matter what company you are based on your position. So he accepted a role as a senior financial analyst.
Let's go, little AG.
We took that opportunity to tear up the town.
You got to celebrate. You had to go visit, see how it's all going to work out.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, we've been going so often now. Like, we know
Miami's your spot.
Yeah.
Like, is that where you go celebrate birthdays and anything degenerate?
We want to celebrate. Yeah.
Anything degenerate.
I got to bring you next time. It's a movie.
Oh, seriously. I haven't been to Miami in years. I don't remember. When I was a kid, I went to It's such a cool place.
Oh yeah.
We gotta go to Art Basel.
It kind of, yes, we do. I think that's like November or something like that.
Now you got a place to stay.
Exactly. Trying to force them out there beforehand, but it's not for everybody. Not for everybody. Like, we definitely are the partiers of the family, so we'll take any excuse to go down there.
Yeah, right. And you just got a dog, right?
Yeah.
He works for a pet supplies company.
Yeah, he's about to be the model. You know what I mean?
Let's go. What's his name
I wish
again?
we got to get him. Cabo.
Little guy Cabo. He's such a stud.
Yeah,
Rottweiler?
Rottweiler. So what's interesting with Miami specifically is like the new tech hub, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like whoever you bump into, I mean, like, they have some sort of affiliation somewhere, which is like exciting because it's just weird when you're in the club and you're talking about crypto or economics.
Did that happen a lot?
That happened Saturday night.
It's weird because like I associate since I jumped into the crypto world, like the first big event was Art Basel, or there were things being hosted in Miami. So like I just associated that with the stuff we talk about with tech, but I don't think it's been like that, historically, but right now it's hot.
Yeah, like, right now it's hot. Like,
wow.
just from an art perspective too, like there's this neighborhood called Wynwood. So you head out there, it's got like a bunch of bars and everything, but everything is a mural. Like,
really?
Everything is like art everywhere, like some crazy sculptures, everything. Wow. So I can understand why it's hosted there, and then people who have their NFT projects and whatnot, they kind of flock down there to meet with their own people and stuff. So
that's wild.
It's kind of culture shock because here, like, it's not like that. Like, people are still like trying to wrap their head around that. And I think that's just with tech in general, in the Detroit area. Like, we're kind of behind the times.
Yeah.
Hopefully they tune in the Moon Talk. And
that's what I remember when I first started at my last job, your current job. Like, I remember some of the first things they were saying is just like, Michigan-based companies are, a little behind technologically than your San Francisco, your New York, your Miami. Like, obviously they're a little behind, but yeah, just factoring that in, like Miami's they're ahead of the game.
Exactly. If you just think about just like hardware products, like your Lenovo's, your HPs. Nobody here really uses Apple like
you're right.
they do on the East Coast or the West Coast. Like, it's just crazy. When I talk to my peers on the West Coast or the East Coast, they're like, are you getting this spiff for selling this Apple? No, because nobody has any interest in it. So, but it's cool, man. Like, we definitely have to go. Like,
the best weather of all time, right?
Film an episode down there, honestly, because like you can run into a girl down there and she knows way more shit about it than you do.
I don't know what that experience is like. Like, did that happen this weekend too?
That happened. So
let me hear the story.
Saturday night, Aaron and I, we got a booth at one of our favorite clubs, and we were just bringing them
doing
in.
Your thing.
Yeah. And so, like, first of all, talking to like a woman in the club is the worst shit in the world because you're screaming at each other. I don't know what the fuck she's saying.
Just yelling into their ear.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, like, she heard me, I heard her. And so she was based out of Atlanta, and she was trying to move within the next 2 weeks because she was like, I love it here. Like, there's people like me here.
Didn't the last girl story you told was the girl from Atlanta buying real estate?
No, she's from here, but she bought real estate in Florida, Sarasota, Florida.
Got you. All right.
So she was finishing up her economics major, and so I just asked her. I was like, "Are you into crypto at all? Like, what's up with that?" She's like, "Actually, yes, I am."
Let's go.
And then it just flowed into a crazy conversation. She wasn't really into NFTs yet. She's like, I've been like experiencing or experimenting with my research, but crypto's where it's at for me. And so I was asking her what should I be into. She's like, I'm not telling you shit because this is not financial advice or anything like that. So she just basically said Bitcoin's the safest asset right now, as I kind of predicted she would. But
it's just the concept of like an economics major and a traditional student
in the
on
club.
the side in the club is also into crypto, like secretly like this is real.
I
like that
people are like at least down there and probably elsewhere, they're getting into it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I hope we can help usher that here. Because I do think it's important. Just the overall knowledge base. Do what you will with it. Like if you want to invest. If you don't, you think it's a scam, sure. But we've got a couple topics here today. It's relevant right now and it's visible. Like, and
it's built like it's growing. Like we're seeing things and they look a little different. Like sometimes it doesn't make sense, or sometimes it does make sense, but we don't realize how it's like tied to an NFT, or like what Cliff Kingsbury wearing a VeeFriends shirt like actually means in the grand scope of things. But did you see that picture?
Yeah. Talk about it, man. I don't know if we got it. Oh, here it is right here.
Oh yeah. I was just scrolling through Twitter and I forget who posted this. It might have been GaryVee retweeted or something, but this is Cliff Kingsbury. He's the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, walking into the arena before a preseason game wearing what must be a limited edition VeeFriends shirt.
Yeah, because I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that. It's definitely not been released yet. So how he got that, who knows? But like that moment for players and coaches, mostly players, but for coaches walking into a game, like you're showing off your fit, and he decided to throw on his VeeFriends t-shirt.
I think we're going to see a lot of that coming up. Like you've been telling me about which athletes are investing in Vandersports or Vaynersports. With their management and everything like that.
Aiden Hutchinson, he's a Vaynersports athlete.
Yeah, so like I'm like, just like you said, those athlete walk-ins, we're going to see a bunch of different merch or their own NFT projects or whatever the case may be.
That's how I heard about a couple last year. None that I've bought, but like there was a Rumble Kong League that Steph Curry, he was wearing a beanie before one of his games last year, and then I kind of read into it and realized it's this basketball focused NFT project that he's invested in. It's like,
that marketing is crazy right now.
Crazy.
It forced you to just like, what the fuck is this?
Did we talk about the Halliburton shoes on this on moontalk?
I don't think so.
That might have to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Or do we just drop it right?
Just go for it.
Yeah, no, Halliburton, you remember last year,
Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's for the Pacers now.
Yeah, but he was on the Kings last year when he wore he put his Bored Ape on his shoes. So he was wearing, at the time, I think it still holds the record, the most expensive basketball shoes ever worn in a basketball game by a player. You're kind of towing the line of the relevance of that, but the only way someone could wear those shoes with that specific Bored Ape on it is if you bought the ape for, it was like $140,000.
I was just about to ask how much.
$160,000. So it's like no one's ever worn shoes over $100,000 in a game. But
that's insane.
That's the only way to get them. So like that's how people are starting to promote their NFT projects, themselves, their identity, things like this. I'm just like curious how it led to Cliff Kingsbury. A lot's been very children focused ish. I'm just wondering how it got to him. But whatever.
Yeah. Like it could have been a player, someone in the circle, like that. Yeah, I'm sure he'll get asked about it at some point, or Gary will post it in the Discord, like how this actually came about. Seriously, because maybe they might be tight, and I don't know. He's showing love. I have no idea, but
that's true. That's true. Gary Vee seems to know everybody.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
100%.
I don't know. He's a big Jets guy, so I guess he's fraternizing with the enemy.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do at that point.
Right.
But speaking of enemies, though, like I'm not sure how familiar you are with Royce the 5'9".
Yeah.
So like he's a rapper from Detroit, and I hate saying that because it sounds just like so. He's bigger than that, but he partnered with Eminem back in the day. They've got a group called Bad Meets Evil, and so right now he's going through like a dispute with his group. So he's got a rap group. It was called Slaughterhouse. I used to listen to them like maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I think that's the last time their album came out. And so there was issues business-wise with their
how money and royalty. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so one of the members was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm just not gonna rap anymore. I don't want to try and make money for this label. I'll rap again if they take us off the label."
And is that him speaking for like him? This isn't Royce, right? This
isn't Royce. This is another member, Joe Budden.
Okay. Yeah. He's huge now too.
Yeah, he's huge in the podcast space now.
Yeah,
he stopped rapping and started podcasting.
Yeah, because I remember he was getting hot when I was in high school.
Yeah,
Pump It Up. Anyways, was him. Was he speaking or trying to figure this out for himself or for like the group, like Royce and the group? Kind of against the record label. So it was just for him.
It was kind of half and half.
Okay.
Royce was kind of on the fence because the record label was Shady Records and he's cool with Eminem.
Yeah.
And so, but Joe didn't like how the business was going. He didn't like how they were getting paid and any of that.
The label was taken.
A shit ton.
Yeah.
And so and then the other two members, Crooked Eye and Joel Ortiz, they were kind of just like, I will keep rapping. I don't care. And so Royce was like, well, if he's not going to rap, then none of us are because we're a group. And so they haven't made anything in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so...
Because are they technically still under that label, under Shady Records?
Technically under the label. So over these 10 years, Royce has been fighting to get the album off Shady.
Gotcha.
And so the thing that happened was as soon as they got off Shady, this was like 6 months ago, the two other members, Joel and Crooked Eye, made an album without them.
Without Royce and Joe Budden?
Yeah, and said, I forgot what it was called. I didn't even listen to it. I think it was like The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse, and the album cover was them burning the logo.
Wow.
And so they were pissed about it because they were like, that's our IP. I fought so hard over the last 10 years to get
Royce and Joe Budden.
Yeah, to get this. Well, Royce specifically, Joe is like podcasting.
Yeah, he's
off the label, so we can do our own thing. And so they took a record deal for like $1 million and made that album. And so I was watching an interview of his. He was like, the one thing that I wanted to do was give the fans a piece of our royalty and turn the next Slaughterhouse album into an NFT. That's what I wanted to do. But they fucking made this album that said Slaughterhouse is over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so he wanted to turn the Slaughterhouse album, now that he has all the rights to it, into an NFT to allow his fans to take advantage of the royalties and everything.
Because he just got his master's back of the records that he made 20 years ago, and he understands how valuable that shit is. So he does not want to sign to another label. He's all about doing NFT music from now on. Right,
but now his former boys, now made this album totally like throwing that into the ground.
It's over now.
But is it? I know.
That's what people were saying. They're like, you guys can reconcile, but he was like, I spent 10 years of my life trying to get this off the label, and then you guys go ahead and do that. And that just kind of pissed all over the work I did.
Yeah, for 10 straight years.
Yeah.
I wondered, do they split they split the rights of what they got from the label after those 10 years?
I'm not sure.
Royce should go do his own thing.
Technically, they still own it, but I don't think creatively he feels it anymore because he's like, you guys killed it, and we had this momentum from coming off. There was so much that we could have done, so many cool things that maybe we could have signed to a label still and had an NFT. He was like, at the very least, if nobody's gonna rap, we can NFT the merch. We can do whatever. And so it was cool to hear he was thinking about these things. Like, these things have been prevalent. These things have been clearly in his thoughts. Like, he's been trying to figure out the best move for the group since he's been working on taking them off the label for 10 years.
Man.
So that just kind of opened my eyes to like, people are really like trying to handle business completely differently in this space.
Yeah. And it shows there's still drama on like a group basis even after they got their rights back.
Yeah.
Like, so if there's ways that things can be structured moving forward where everyone's protected, but there's no gray area around what you get individually,
right?
Whether you're the artist or the fan, NFT holder, investor.
Exactly. And like our first couple episodes, we gave the music example, just to like
let's review that real quick. Like because traditionally, I'll let you do the NFT part. Like traditionally, an artist signs a deal with a record label where the record label pays them up front
in advance,
but they take the percentage of they take the rights to the music.
They own the creative. They own your masters.
They own your masters. So they have
and some of these deals, you have to sell a certain amount of records to qualify to buy your masters back, and that could be 20 years.
Right.
That could be 30 years.
And even if that's not in there, like you get paid $1 million, you got to pay the record company back your first $1 million you make.
Correct.
Before you start taking profits. So yeah, they've got all the power. And before we switch over to the NFT, like there is a place for that if you're an up-and-coming artist, and like first off, that upfront money can help you, and maybe you're not savvy with the producing, the marketing, there's a lot that goes in. And
there's a lot, yeah.
That's why you need record labels. Some people need record labels.
Right, because they can put you on like certain talk shows, get you spun in certain cities that you're not being played in. Like
they've done it before, they're vets.
Yeah, which is
also
kind of like shitty in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like you're paying for airtime, like that doesn't mean like the people like your songs.
True.
It's just
you're giving yourself the best chance to reach ears.
Yeah.
And hoping. Yeah, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
But flip it on the reverse, the NFT, how does that change things for both the artist and fans?
Yeah, and for artists, I think they've got to consider. They still have to consider the label. It depends on like what your goal is. Like, if your goal is to make the most money as possible, probably want to go the NFT route.
Mm-hmm.
If your goal is to make an impact in the music business or whatever the case may be, you might want to go the label route because you're going to get a bigger reach. But from an NFT's perspective, you can create an album, you can create a song. And only limit it to a certain, or however you want to run it. It doesn't have to be a limit on it. It's just how I've seen it done. Like 100 albums, you put them up for sale, and when you purchase that NFT, you can create utility for the customers that you have. They can get X amount of percentage of your royalties. So if these records end up being like prevalent, spun in the club, spun on the radio, all this, like royalties, mailbox money for your customers or
just
for your fans.
Revenue.
Yeah. So he was talking about Royce specifically. He was like, I was thinking about giving like 6% away, 8% away, and then every time that album is sold, the artist still gets a percentage of that resale.
Right.
So it's like
the economics behind it all are insane.
Yeah. So you're essentially making your fans the record label. Like
right.
They own a percentage of your project, but not like a master. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they wouldn't own majority. Yeah.
Enough where your fans are incentivized based on your success.
Yeah. And so guess what they're gonna do? They want the royalties. They're gonna play the music. They're gonna text it to their friends. They're gonna bootleg it, whatever it is, like to get it out. Like,
you just created this marketing pyramid of people who are all want your music to be heard by as many people as possible. Like the label's trying to get you on the radio station or the Airstreams. Like it's just a different way of doing it.
Exactly. So it's like cutting out the middleman. You're going directly to your fans, directly to consumer, and you're incentivizing your fans to get your music out there because we're all going to get paid off of it.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. They're going to be fans making their wealth off of their celebrity, like hobby focuses.
Yeah.
Like you could really make a difference.
Like imagine getting a royalty percentage of Drake So Far Gone when that first came out in 2009 and where he is today. Like
insanity.
You're gonna be chilling.
You're gonna be chilling. It's fun. Like it seems like where my head stops here, and I'm like, hey, where do I go with this? It seems simple to me right now because we've been living in this, but like it's such a different way. It's like a simple switch.
Yeah.
But if you can like understand and realize like the power behind it, and also the negatives, and like how maybe you're not, are you the right musician?
You might not be hot enough to pull it off.
Right. So it's all about strategy and having faith in yourself and what route you want to take with it.
Yeah. And to be fair, I haven't seen it really done successfully yet. I don't think it's been like really executed. It's definitely been discussed, and probably like one album, like just one album, and then maybe a couple songs.
Did Nas release an album or a song? It was last year. There were like two artists who did something.
I know Wu-Tang did for sure.
They released an old album, kind of like
a never before heard
album.
And I want to say Currency or something like that did it too.
It was like each NFT is $1, and he sold like 1 million of them. Something. In a minute.
Yeah. So like I don't know how that's working royalty wise, because that music's not on any of the DSPs or anything like that either. So it's like that's the other aspect when you're trying to market this thing. How are you going to get it out? Like it might be some other built-in utility pieces in there, like free concert tickets or whatever. If you have a copy of this one, but we're also going to release it on Spotify and stuff 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Imagine by holding an NFT, you just get free access to any concert ever. Or in your like you can just the holders get utility. That's insane.
I just thought it was because I was just screwing around just listening to him because I was into the Slaughterhouse breakup beef, and then when I heard him say that, I was like, oh, they're really
Royce
thinking about doing some of this stuff like really soon.
Now I'm going to be focusing on him. Are you a boxing fan?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
not crazy, just like casual.
Do you understand like a boxing syndicate?
No.
That's what I'm trying to. I don't know all the intricacies, but basically like the chief promoter or the promotion company basically, up front pay the basically pay them to train and prepare for the fight.
Okay.
And allow them to do their thing, and they handle the marketing, like everything that a record label would do for an artist, they would do for the boxer. What's the famous guy with the crazy hair?
Boxer?
Yeah, the boxing promoter.
Don King.
Don King.
Thank you.
That's who it is. Don King. He's just a very a wild guy. Investing in whether music or even just like, can you imagine investing in a human, like your future earnings? Like, what if I paid you, like I believed in your future.
Yeah.
So I paid you $100,000 for 5% of any of your future net worth. Like,
it's definitely possible with this shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It might not going to work in every situation.
Yeah.
You may not want to give that up in the future, or maybe you do. Getting $100,000 can change your life or kind of get you over the hump of whatever you're trying to do. Imagine like if that was in NFT form, that's also a tradable asset. So like if I invest in you and you start killing it, I can put that for auction. Like I can put that up for sale too, and kind of keep this spin like
right, because like technically that whoever made that smart contract, they're gonna have to just pay or distribute whatever to that specific contract, so they don't care. You're
not dealing with, all right, in 20 years I gotta like come to you and ask for a certain amount of money.
Right.
However, the technology is set up for it to just automatically go to the tokens however it goes. Like there's such a secondary and is tertiary, is that the right word?
I think
third, the third way. Third level. It can get really wild with this stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking about that one a little bit more.
Yeah, man. I mean, like to me, the music business is just the easiest example, and it's just like this is happening in real time. So
everyone has that artist that they listened to before they popped off,
right?
And you get pissed when you hear them, and like everybody's onto them. Right? Like, I was there first,
right?
Like I was in there.
I also hate being that guy too.
Well, right. You hate being that guy, but now you don't have to be that guy. Like you could just prove it.
Yeah.
Like,
hey,
This is how you identify.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Album 1.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
It's in your wallet, and people can just go find it. Like you don't have to do any talking.
Which I'm still not cool with all the way.
What?
People can just go in your wallet and see what you have, but it is what it is.
I need multiple wallets. 2, 3, 4 wallets.
Yeah, man.
Do we want to when you told me about this Pudgy Penguin, I don't know any details around it, but anytime I hear Pudgy Penguin and sells for 400 ETH, are we still in a bear market? Like what happened here?
I was checking the stats today, just where everything was, like Bitcoin or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's a little bounce back, but you could tell people, like, for whatever reason, I'm not familiar with that project or whatever, but that person woke up one day and was like, yeah, this is worth it.
I'm gonna do this for 400. And you did the calculation, 640 grand.
Like that on a Pudgy Penguin. Again, I don't know anything about the project. I don't know what utility it has. I don't know what access you get to it, but there's a reason homie did it.
I can't say like I've been, 24/7 following NFT projects the last couple months, but like I can name off 4 or 5 off the top of my head that I think are great projects you could get under like $200, even under like $50.
Yeah.
And someone spent $650K.
$650K, man. My God. That's I don't know.
That's a headline. Who knows what this turns into? But like that's a headline that will confuse a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's like who knows if that's good or bad. But man,
I haven't seen the floor. I haven't been looking at the floor of Bored Ape or anything right now, but I figured they could probably got one of those.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely. They could have got a couple of those.
Yeah,
a couple of CryptoPunks, a couple everything.
Yeah, because like the CryptoPunks is like the genesis of this. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be a good investment. So.
If I had $600K to put towards the project, I'd buy one of those and then spread everything out.
Absolutely.
Along everything else.
While we got a little time left, let's hop into it.
Southpaw Story part 2.
Story. Let's go.
Let's go. Do you know, or have you heard of Bobby Bonilla Day? Does that?
For the Mets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard this story?
Yeah.
So this card, it's a Bobby Bonilla card. Was it 1987 Don Russ? I just handed it to you. I forgot the top off the top.
There you go.
Here we go. Yeah. 1987 Don Russ, Bobby Bonilla opening day.
Money.
Do you know the story about Bobby Bonilla Day? It just happened July 1st.
It's every July 1st he gets paid a portion of his contract.
Yeah.
I forgot what the stipulations of the contract were.
Every July 1st, Bobby Bonilla, who hasn't played in the major league since 2001. He hasn't played for the Mets since 1999. He is paid, let me check my notes, $1,193,248 every July 1st from 2011 to 2035.
Wow. So there's still a good amount of
for
Bobby
25 years. But do you know the story? So the Mets, this was in 99, they wanted to buy his contract out. So he had $5.9 million left on his contract. They wanted to buy it out. The Mets ownership at the time, one of which is a former Michigan alum, big Michigan baseball donor, Fred Wilpon, go Blue. They were part of they were invested in a Bernie Madoff account. Do you know the Madoff Ponzi scheme scandal?
Yeah.
They were invested in his account, promised double-digit returns, so they had all this money. They were trying to rearrange the roster and all these contracts, so they agreed to buy him out. $5.9 million. We're just going to start paying you in 2011 every year $1.2 million. It is absolutely insane. So every year he gets to show up on July 1st.
That's nuts. I've got kind of a story about my ex-girlfriend was a Mets fan.
Oh, yeah?
So I actually went to Bobby Bonilla
let's go. Their new ownership are like talking about like actually celebrating it.
Yeah.
Like making it a day at the ballpark, which is so cool. Like they should.
Yeah. That's just so unique. Like
he's making more than there was some list I was reading, 25 of like the better players in the MLB right now. He's making more per year than them. He hasn't played since 2001.
I need to see like a current picture of him.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what he looks like right now.
I don't even remember if I didn't see this, I wouldn't remember what he looked like even playing, but
he's on what
dude is a legend. He's on the Pirates in this.
The Pirates.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this was earlier on in his career. This was 12 years before that happened. Like, he wasn't even any good. Oh my gosh.
Is that so? When did he start playing? Is that a rookie card?
It's not a rookie card. It looks like he has a year under his belt, so it might be a second year. But this is a pretty, not like super valuable, but like an iconic set. This Don Russ set.
I rock with it.
There's like a Tony Gwynn and a Bo Jackson that are pretty sweet.
No, that's That's immaculate.
Yeah.
Another Southpaw story, you know what I'm saying?
These are the reasons why I started to get into trading cards.
Hey, man.
Right?
Yeah, next time we got to talk about your trading card.
Whatnot. I'm selling.
Whatnot. Yeah.
This is an experience.
We definitely have to talk about that.
Let's go. Hey, this was a good one, though.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
Yep.